Previously, we mentioned about the procedures for strain gauge installations. It starts with surface treatment. We will go through this process of surface treatment in this video. This is particularly for metals. First, you will need to remove the foreign materials such as rust and paint. Remove all the moisture, grease, scale, rust, paint and etc. from the installation area in order to provide a shiny metallic surface on the surface where you need to install the strain gauge. The purpose here is to remove all the mechanism or impurities that can affect the bonding between the strain gauge and the test material. You will need to ensure a good conveying of strength from the test specimen to the strain gauge. All this can affect the quality of the bond with the strain gauge. This may also involve grinding, where you use abrasive paper to abrade an area which is slightly larger than the strain gauge for the installations of the strain gauge. The purpose here is to remove the uneven surface as well as the impurities. You only grind the surface a little bit only until a flat surface is acquired. The grinding cannot be too excessive, which will ultimately lead to structural damage to the surface. Excessive grinding or removal of the surface may weaken the test specimen at the grinded area. Now, the type of abrasive papers that you use for the grinding is very much dependent on the test specimen material. For steel, 120 to 180 grade abrasive paper should be applicable. As for the aluminium, it should be 240 to 320 grade abrasive paper. Next, it will be cleaning the surface. Clean the surface with industrial tissue or cloth dampened with a small amount of solvent such as acetone. Remember, when you use this solvent, make sure it is used in the well-ventilated locations away from inflammable. This is precautions when you are using the solvent. Clean the grinded surface until the tissue or cloth comes away clean. As a rule of thumb, strain gauge shall not be attached to the pen or coating of the test specimen. As you are not sure about the quality of the pens and the coating in terms of the bonding strength or peeling strength with the test specimen. Now, if you have your strain gauge attached to the pen or coating of the test specimen, now the conveyance of the strength from the test specimen to the strain gauge will have an additional layer, which is the pens and the coating. If the pens and coating peel off, the strain gauge becomes non-functional. Therefore, normally we will need to remove the pens or coating before installing the strain gauge, so that the strain gauge is installed directly onto the surface of the metal. After that, we will need to do some markings. This one is for you to have your strain gauge to be installed at the right place on your test specimen. Use ruler to do the marking. Draw two perpendicular lines, and these two perpendicular lines will later be aligned with the measurement axis for the installations of the strain gauge. Next, it will be masking. After you've done the marking of the axis, estimate the size of your strain gauge. Use cellophane tapes. Mark off an area which is slightly larger than your gauge base of the strain gauge This one is to prevent the adhesive from spreading outside the installation areas. You're going to attach your strain gauge at the center of this masking.